The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Hey, welcome to the show. Good to see everybody. We have been hearing for so long, particularly since the Sandy Hook shooting, about, hey, banning guns is just as stupid as banning knives and banning cars, and people are hurt all the time with all sorts of different things. And we now have an example to look at very specifically at Lone Star College in Texas, where 14 people were hurt yesterday in a stabbing spree. But nobody died. Nobody died. NBC News is reporting that an individual there used a razor-type knife to start attacking a number of people. He was able to injure 14 people. He was taken into custody, and 2 victims were in critical condition. It wasn't clear exactly how severe all of the other injuries were. A couple of them were not even severe enough to go to the hospital in the first place. Now, remember, this is another campus for the same college where two or 3 months ago, there was what appeared to be some kind of gang-related shooting. A 22-year-old man was charged with aggravated assault. Remember that there were a couple of shots fired. Some kind of back and forth took place, Lewis. And law enforcement officials are saying that in this case, in the stabbing case, it's 20-year-old Dylan Andrew Quick. And he has been charged with 3 charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And there's so much to discuss here. So, number one, there is a difference between someone showing up with a gun and someone showing up with a knife. 14 people injured, some not seriously enough to even go to the hospital, and nobody dies. Now, the devil's advocates, we have to be ready for this, ladies and gentlemen. The pro-gun advocates are going to say, hey, if one person had a gun here, they would have been able to stop this guy before he even stabbed this number of people. And we really have to think critically about that, Lewis, because number one, we have someone who's very quickly just hitting several people with a knife in a crowded area. The solution is that somebody with a gun is going to quickly take it out. Probably someone whose experience with a gun is limited to very calmly taking their gun and aiming at a firing range and taking their time to line up a shot on a target.
Right. They've never been in a situation like this.
Squeezing out one shot and then taking another shot and shooting. They're going to quickly first discern exactly what's going on and who the bad guy is, take the gun out. Presumably it's loaded, but the safety is on. Take it off of safety, and then fire at the guy who is right next to a crowd of the 14 people he's stabbing and shoot them to stop. Right. That's what's going to happen. And by the way, let's assume that they do that. That will still leave somebody dead, right? Somebody could be dead. The guy who gets shot could be dead. Or it could be the people around there, right? Remember when in New York we had that shooting and police accidentally shot like 9 people?
Yeah, the donut squad shot 9 people chasing a guy who was running from them.
Right.
Yeah, and those are trained professionals, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what else do we have to say about what we're going to hear from the pro-gun people saying this proves nothing? This proves we should have had guns there for people to defend themselves with.
Nonsense. I mean, if the person had access to a gun, if the bad guy had a gun, people would have died.
Natan, how else would you counter the claims? I mean, Lewis is basically getting at the root of it here.
Well, the pro-gun people, I won't even call them pro-gun, I'll just say right-wing nuts. What they say is that there's basically a hard and fast line, and the line is you can't ban people from having these things, which are your right. The reality is that the knives, guns sort of divide doesn't make any sense. It's a question of degree. A gun is made to be as efficient as possible in killing people. That's its only purpose. You can kill people with knives. You can kill people with razors. You can kill people with baseball bats. None of those things are nearly as deadly. It's a question of degree, and it's common sense to put some limits on these things.
No question about it.
Even if this guy had a katana and was swinging it around wildly in there, if he wanted to kill one person, he probably could have killed that one person very easily, maybe even 2. The point is he wanted to try and hurt or kill as many people as possible, and you just can't do that if you don't have the guns.
Right. What clearly is true, regardless of the spin you're going to get, is that, well, I guess there's a better way to say it. It's not true what we hear from the pro-gun crowd, that someone who wants to kill haphazardly will be able to do so regardless of whether they have a gun or not. Here's a case where even if you just have an 8-bullet clip, you're going to do way more damage than this individual was able to do. And this is a perfect example of what we're looking at. And we had the example from China as well, where 20-something kids were stabbed. Nobody died.
Nobody died, yep.